Hi guys, this is on a retro tip back with another 10 facts video. This time it's Sega's famous mascot, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now Sonic was Sega's replacement mascot for Alex Kidd, not Alex the Kid, please. Sega was desperate for a mascot for their brand, just as Nintendo had with Mario, and their first attempt was Alex Kidd, who had a series of games on the Master System, but poor Alex was pushed aside when Sonic arrived. Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the most ported games of all time. Not the most ported, that record is held by Dragon's Lair, but it's definitely in the top 3. Sonic has been released on well over 30 if you count all the different mobile platforms. So most people who know gaming are familiar with Sonic. He's a very iconic character, but hopefully there's a few facts in this 10 that you haven't heard before. So without further ado, let's crack on with the 10 Sonic facts. The original Sonic the Hedgehog was supposed to have a sound test, much like other games in the Sonic series. Unfortunately, it was cut due to time restraints. This led to a large blank space on the cartridge, which was then used to put in the iconic Sega splash screen. Sega! That one screen took up 1/8 of the available space on the cartridge and was bigger than some whole levels. The cancelled sound test from Sonic 1 was going to have Sonic breakdancing as a band played music. One of the members of this band was Vector the Crocodile, who would later show up in Knuckles' Chaotix, Sonic Heroes and other Sonic games. Not all of Sonic's sound effects are original. For example, his iconic skidding noise was actually first used in Outrun. When Sonic 3 is inserted into Sonic and Knuckles, they combine to create Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is all thanks to Sega's lock-on technology, except that technology was actually not quite what it seemed. Sonic 3 and Knuckles was originally one game, but was too big to fit on one cartridge, so Sega split the game up into 2 parts, with the data for Sonic and Tails along with the first half of the game on one cartridge, and the data for Knuckles along with the second half of the game on the other. Connecting the two would just give you access to the full original game. Connecting the game to Sonic 2 would simply cause Sonic and Knuckles to load Sonic 2's stage data along with the Knuckles character data. Much like Mario's original name was Jumpman, Sonic's original name was Mr. Needlemouse. He also lent his name to the original Sonic project, Project Needlemouse. The title Project Needlemouse was once again used as the project title for Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Similar to how Mario originally showed up in Donkey Kong before his own games, Sonic first showed up in Radmobile. He was a tiny air freshener that hung from the rearview mirror. Before Sonic became the face of Sega, they tried out several different mascot designs. One was an old man with an orange-brown moustache wearing pyjamas. When Sonic was eventually chosen, Sega didn't want to lose the old man design. Instead, he was redesigned to look more like an antagonist and introduced into the games as Dr. Robotnik. Sega was hell-bent on creating a character that could rival the appeal of Nintendo's Mario. Early drafts envisioned a rabbit that could grasp things and fight with prehensile ears. When Sega recognised that this design would be too technically difficult to pull off, and that having a character who would pick up and throw things would slow down the game's fast pace, the company shifted its sights to other rolling animals that could use their bodies as weapons. They wound up with a choice between a hedgehog and an armadillo. Of course, the Hedgehog ultimately won, despite Sega's concerns that most Americans wouldn't have any idea what a hedgehog was. A number of pop culture icons were used as inspiration for Sonic's creation. They used Felix the Cat's head and Mickey Mouse's body for Sonic's basic look. Michael Jackson's boots from the Bad album cover inspired Sonic's patented footwear, with Santa Claus's colouring tossed in for a sense of familiarity. Sonic's sassy attitude was allegedly modelled on Bill Clinton. Sonic drowns because Sega erroneously thought that hedgehogs can't swim. Anyone who experiences a feeling of utter panic when they hear that awful drowning music, i.e. all of us, in the original Sonic the Hedgehog, would be annoyed to know that the development team genuinely thought that hedgehogs couldn't swim and would therefore drown underwater, which is not the case. Sonic had an arcade game, and a shit one! The weirdly titled Sega Sonic the Hedgehog was an isometric platform game that supported up to 3 players using trackballs. The game was never ported to a home console, but it did mark the first appearance of Mighty the Armadillo, who would go on to feature in Knuckles Chaotix on the Mega CD. If you leave Sonic for long enough in Sonic CD, he'll top himself. In the original games, if you waited for an extended period of time, Sonic would tap his foot impatiently until you moved him. In Sonic CD, if you wait long enough, Sonic will leap to his death. Bit of an extreme response if you ask me. The game could have been even faster. Sonic the Hedgehog was the fastest game on the market in 1991, but it turns out that Sonic was actually dialed down. Yuji Naka's engine was so fast that he was getting motion sickness while playing the game, so he actually turned the speed down a few notches. So there we have it, that was my 10 Sonic facts. Now let me know in the comments if there are any that you didn't know or found particularly interesting, or if there are any that I've missed. Now, I'm really enjoying doing these 10 facts videos, so if there are any that you'd like me to do in particular, please mention in the comments and I'll see what I can do. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!